What's up, guys? Eric here. So today we're gonna pretty much be, well, it's already kind of done, but I'm gonna go over what I do or what I'm doing. But first of all, I gotta take the radiator out to get some lines out. There's a vacuum line underneath the intake manifold, or not vacuum line, but there's a vacuum port underneath the intake manifold that I gotta get this line off, put a vacuum tee on, and there's another line for PCV I gotta get out too. So I got to take the radiator out. My first plan was to run the oil return line to the timing cover, and it turned out that the valve cover was a lot better spot for it. So that's what we went with. But you'll see me and my buddy Jason ripping out the radiator and my radiator fan. So let's get to it.
Putting out fire, I got Benny. She said I'm taking her higher, just like marijuana. Oh, you like my attire? Touch me if you wanna. I get what I desire, watch me flex right on you. She said keep putting out fire, I got Benny. She said I'm taking her higher, just like marijuana. Oh, you like my attire? Touch me if you wanna. I get what I desire, watch me flex right on you. I can do this so easily, I do it all the time. People that don't believe in me, they beef with me, it's fine. Cause I'm doing my thing, their name is never on my mind. Embracing change, cause same will never give me what is mine. Flashback to the past when they all said I couldn't rap. Scratch that now I Snapchat and they wonder where I'm at. To tell the truth, I'm trying to put the loot right on the map. My avenue is super smooth, I'm liking where I stand. My sauce is something different, got them double dipping. They ask about my kitchen, Griggs is where I whip it. No CO2, my duo, listen, you'll be lifted. My rapping crazy gifted, you might think it's Christmas. I'm feeling like I'm bomb because I'm on a solo mission. Can't wait to move on and then I'm done with touching dishes. When I do a show, the ladies know to blow them kisses. When I change the flow, the people know I'm gonna kill it. She say keep putting out fire, I got Benny.
So yeah, you guys just pretty much saw me pull out the radiator and everything. So let's take a look at what I've done so far. So on that oil return, I was telling you I ran it to the valve cover, so I pulled the valve cover off, brought it over, and TIG welded a -10 AN fitting to it, and then we're gonna run a whatever the bottom piece is to a -10 AN 90 twist lock fitting, and then another -10 90 with a twist lock fitting on it. I need to go get another twist lock fitting, and then for oil feed, I don't know.
You still can't see.
So pretty much what I did for that oil feed line was I tapped into the oil pressure sensor with an 1/8 inch NPT fitting. And then I hooked up the oil pressure sensor onto the other side, and then I got a 1/8 inch NPT to a -4 AN adapter, and then I got a 46 inch. I got a 46 inch oil supply line to the top of the turbo. This is a journal style bearing turbo, so you do not have to run a restrictor in it. But we're gonna get a 36 inch line because this 46 is way too long. And then get the other push lock fitting, oil feed line. Then all we gotta do is wastegate, downpipe, air filter box, and then we can start it up.
She said keep putting out fire, I got Benny. She said I'm taking her higher, just like marijuana. Oh, you like my attire? Touch me if you wanna. I get what I desire, watch me flex right on you. She said keep putting out fire, I got Benny. She said I'm taking her higher, just like marijuana. Oh, you like my attire? Touch me if you wanna. I get what I desire, watch me flex right on you. Hotter than the summer down in Arizona.
Got the downpipe all mocked up, so we got a 5 inch 45 to a 5 inch straight piece to a 5 inch to dual 3 inch. We went with the dual 3 inch right here, so when it tucks underneath the frame, it only hangs 3 inches down instead of running the 5 all the way down. And then I got a pipe hanging 5 inches down, so with the 3, hopefully it'll be tucked up enough that you don't see it. But other thing we gotta do is gotta mount a wideband O2 in here, and then take this out, get it all TIG welded, The clearance is about the same with that to the tire that is. It's about a little thicker in my hands. I'd probably say 2 inches. So, and if it is too close, I always can run wheel spacers, which I really don't want to do. But if it has to happen, it has to happen, or I just won't turn full lock. And then I got my Gibson headers on. You can look at how beautiful these things are. Really class the joint up. But yeah, got the wastegate mounted under there. And we're doing big things. Now we're under the truck with the exhaust that's before the turbo. After the header is down. You see I got the wastegate mounted. Not mocked up, it's mounted. It's kind of in a different spot than you'd usually run. Usually you'd want it up by the turbo. Up there. But we're going to try it here, see what happens. This was the most convenient spot to put it. We also got the O2 sensors mounted up there and over there. And we still got to hook up that wideband up there. Here's a top view of the downpipe. The AC lines will be wrapped with heat tape. The exhaust will be wrapped with titanium heat wrap. And then oil line, my oil feed, which is down there. You can see it. Oil drain, we went right to the valve cover, which worked great because it's perfect. Because the turbo sits higher than the valve cover and it's a small return. Hopefully the 90s don't cause too much of a restriction, but we'll find out. There's a lot of learning process in doing this. I've never put a turbo on something, so this is first for me, but we're getting it.
You heating up and now they wanna throw you. Pause, pick up the flow while I left it. I'm shining bright, that's the gold on my necklace. She blowing my phone with Texas. Say she is lonely and needs some attention. I say it's too late for affection. Call me tomorrow once I get my rest. She say she want more than a friendship. Last couple weeks have been cool, but she means it. I say that it's not in my interest. I was just hoping to give you my. Hold up, now I'm back with the raps that allow me to kill every track, quick pat, boom. I am the man with the plan, money dancing, the tails in advance, and the grands and the comes soon. Who do? Man, what it do? Don't cut, still keeping it smooth. Not rust, but Italian too. Blow up, then I'm taking the cruise. I'm on a new level of pedestal, team eating plentiful. Yours looking skeletal, floors impeccable. Yours like a vegetable. Nobody thinks what you're making is edible. I'm sorry that I always go so hard. I just wanna blow up, be a big star. She said keep putting out fire, I got Benny on her. She said I'm taking her higher, just like marijuana.
Super pumped to have it so close to being done. You can see the finish line. It gets you just so pumped to get it done. And then after all the turbo stuff is done, I'll get it started up, get a video of that, just idling, not getting any boost at all because it's not tuned, of course. Just get it idle, run some oil through the turbo, make sure everything's okay exhaust wise, oil wise, intake wise, spray it down, make sure nothing's leaking. And then we gotta do a clutch upgrade and bigger injectors, 69-pound injectors, and a Walbro 450 drop in the tank fuel pump. Fuel system will be able to support like 800 wheel horsepower, which right now on the stock internals I am not even going to get close to it. It's going to be more. All the guys on the forums, SRT10 forums, on the stock motor runs 6 psi on the Pro Chargers, the Paxtons, the Rose, and they all keep it under 650 wheel horsepower. My goal is 650. I want to keep it between 5 and 7 psi. So we'll see. But yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, and keep it boosting like always.